Vern Dodson is remembered most for Dodson Funeral Parlor and the sprawling Dodson Cemetery, established in the 1800s. But Dodson had a much darker side. You see, Vern Dodson's main passion was to attempt the reanimation of the dead. Dodson was heavily influenced by a book that came out around that time, Frankenstein. Dodson was in the perfect place for such experiments. A mortuary with an endless supply of bodies and employees willing to help. Bancroft Mahoney was Dodson's partner and only too eager to participate. And gravedigger Mr. Boggs helped reluctantly, often remarking, "Well, I suppose they're dead already, aren't they?" As empty caskets got buried in the ground, Mahoney slid the dearly departed down a chute to the secret lab, 49 steps down under the basement floor. With Tesla's inventions of high-voltage machines, Dodson began his work. There were many failures, and when science wasn't enough, Dodson turned to magic. It is said that Dodson and Mahoney found Jon Hyers' legendary Well of the Souls, a mythical object said to grant most wishes. Just where it was found remains a mystery. The story behind Hyers' magic well is equally hard to believe. Jon Hyers was an archaeologist who lived some years earlier and found the well in an ancient underground chamber. Magical apparitions came quickly, and Hyers discovered that he could create many things from the well. He started out with simple objects. Then energy of many different forms. Then he dared to make living beings. The pride of his creation was to be the love of his life, a living human woman. But when the locals found out what he was doing, he was opposed. Fearing for his life, he transformed his mistress Miranda into a vampire in order to protect him. And she kept watch, guarding Hyers from harm. Then one day, and without warning, Mistress Miranda attacked Hyers, after which he began to change. He became a vampire, like her. And between the two of them, the townspeople were less of a threat. Hyers continued to conjure darker and more sinister creations, and with the power of the well, his own power grew. No longer recognizable as the man he was, Hyers wore a cloak to conceal his gross appearance, that of the Grim Reaper. Then, working by cover of night, Hyers continued to experiment with his dark power outside in the fields near his house. It is said Jon Hyers and the Well of the Souls created a flock of Grim Reapers when he summoned yet more dark forces to protect him. The Reapers have been on the loose since then, ready and waiting to take souls. Hyers vanished along with his bride and were never seen again. Exactly where Vern Dodson found the well years later is not known, but with it safely located in Dodson's lab, resurrections of the dead continued. Dodson had but one wish for the well: success. He became as proficient in dark magic as he was in science, and one day he succeeded, and a dead man was revived. Dodson's magical dabblings caused him to believe that the Grim Reaper was a real supernatural force, and would someday try to stop him from stealing the spirits that the Reaper craved. So Dodson had Mahoney take the secret notes of his work and lock them in a small chest, moved to the Bencroft Mahoney home, and protected by a powerful curse. It is said the chest could only be opened by someone of magical abilities. Today, the chest still sits on the same cabinet Mahoney placed it on over 100 years ago, in what is now the Bencroft Mahoney Historical Museum on St. Paul's Summit Avenue. To this day, nobody has been able to open the chest. And the old Dodson funeral parlor, the legendary location of the Well of the Souls, is now a residential home, also on Summit Avenue.